In this video, I'm going to tell you about the things I thrifted during September of 2025. My name is Michelle and this channel is fully approved by cats. So here in the UK, people are always saying, oh, you just can't get anything decent in charity shops anymore. So charity shops are what we call thrift stores here in the UK. You can't find anything, it's all rubbish nowadays. And it's certainly more challenging because years ago, charity shops were fantastic. You get such bargains, and then they started getting a little bit fancy, anything that had not even a brand name but something that, a name from the high street, they would suddenly put it down as vintage or special or label or whatever and hike up the price. Sometimes I've seen things in charity shops that have been more than the original price, particularly things that were originally from IKEA. Quite often they seem to sell at a higher price than IKEA sold them. And then, of course, eBay really took off. Decades ago, eBay took off and people were taking all the decent stuff and selling it on eBay. And then all of the really rubbish stuff ended up at charity shops. And in more recent years, people have sold a lot of better clothes at vintage, but that's not to say you can't still find good stuff. And it seems to me that although you can wander into any charity shop, and if I just happen to be in a different town, I'll always check out the charity shops, but I have found that there are one or two that I find just are a better quality. So one that I always have good luck with is an Oxfam store in the town that's about 20 minutes away from me where I used to live, and that has some really nice stuff. And I find that Oxfam generally seems to have very nice quality stuff. And then there's a village that's about 10 minutes drive from me. It's a very sort of posh village. And often villages like the one I live in doesn't have any charity shops. And I was going to this other village. It happens to be where Gimlet's vet is, actually. I was going there one day to pick up medicine. I thought I'll just have a look on Google and see if there are any charity shops there. And there's just one. I thought, oh, pop in and have a look at it. Absolutely fantastic store, really curated, really good quality stuff. So there are still bargains to be had in charity shops. And let's start with the first thing that I found during September. Now, I'm always breaking stuff. I'm very clumsy. I'm always breaking glasses, and I had broken some of glasses, yes, but drinking glasses. I had broken some of my little glass tumblers and I needed some more. Now, I can easily pick these up in the supermarket and they aren't expensive. But I do worry about just this constant production and this constant buying. So I thought to myself, there's stacks and stacks of glassware in these charity shops. I must be able to find some tumblers. So I had to wander around the town that's 20 minutes away, and there's lots of charity shops there. Wandered around and eventually I found one that had some little tumblers. So I got these. There were 4 of these and it was £1.50 for 4. So I would have paid, they are cheap in the shop, so I would have paid, at least £6-8 for those. So that was a bargain, and I didn't sort of contribute any to the industrial production machine, shall we say. Now, I'm not just good at breaking drinking glasses. I can break a huge range of things. And one of the things that I'd also been breaking or chipping are breakfast bowls. And although I had some breakfast bowls left, they were all rather large and I just wanted something a little bit smaller. Now, when I buy things for my house, I tend to buy them either in neutral colours or green. I love greens and it just helps things to hang together. I was in, I think it was York, might have been, no, it was Norwich actually. I was in Norwich with my daughter once on a little trip, and I went into this beautiful store, and there was lots of cacti in there, which I love, and everything was glass, and there were lots of natural colours and there were lots of greens. And in my mind, when I make my fortune, which will be next week obviously, and buy a beautiful house, then I will have a house that looks like this, all these natural colours and all these plants and all this greenery. So I try to pick things that are either neutral or green for my my kitchen and my crockery. And so I found 2 little bowls, and these are those. I can't remember how much they cost, very little. If I can find a record of it, because I tend to snap pictures of the labels, then I will put that up. The next 2 finds are for my wardrobe, and they're kind of related but not. So I love bead necklaces, even though I almost never get around to wearing them because I do so many sports in the evening. It's just so easy just to put in some stud earrings and know that I'm not going to have to worry about changing anything later on. But I do love bead necklaces. I'm not sure how fashionable they are at the moment, and I'm not sure how much I care about that. So I found this necklace. This was actually in the Oxfam store, and it's got sort of, these are almost like a dyed wooden bead, and then these are the sort of large size of those little beads. I can never remember the name of them, but they're glass ones anyway. And it's just kind of a burgundy sort of colour, and I rather liked it. I normally buy all sorts of things in charity shops and upcycle them, all sorts of jewellery and necklaces, and you know, I do things to them. But I actually just like this the way it is. It's strung quite well. There's no clasp on it, just fits over your head. Let's put it on. And there, you can't even see it, can you? But anyway, I quite liked it. And then I found something in another shop that was the exact same colour, completely unrelated. Let's look at that next. So I'll try to put up some footage of me wearing it, but I found this jacket, and this is a sea salt jacket. So sea salt is, I don't know where they're based, but it's quite a big brand in the UK. It's got that kind of Cornish coastal vibe to it, and I don't like everything that they put out. Actually, sorry, I just bashed the table there. I don't like everything that they put out, but I did like this jacket. It's similar to several that I've got, one of which I made myself. Almost like a workwear jacket, sort of a casual type blazer, not even a blazer, just sort of a cropped jacket with pockets. And I wear this sort of thing all of the time. Now, when I bought this jacket, it had a stain on it, which is always a little worrying, isn't it? So the stain was, I think, on one of the plackets here, probably about a third of the way down. There was a white stain. Now, I always worry about white stains because often it's something like varnish or glue that has dried hard and it just never comes out. And this jacket was £10, and I thought, I'll take a chance, because what I thought I could do is that even if the stain didn't come out, it's in the sort of position where you could put almost like a decorative label over the top or a patch of something. I thought, you know what, I can style it out. I can get some way of covering that up, probably by putting a little label over it. Well, I took it home and hand washed it, and the stain came right out. I then, of course, did a little bit of detective work and had a look online. This was actually one of their last season jackets, and I think it sold for about £79–80. So really pleased to have got that for just £10. Let me know in the comments if you've had any good charity shop or thrift store finds recently. Remember to always be kind to yourself, be kind to other people, and most of all, be kind to animals. That way you'll always stay, like this channel, fully approved by cats.